fine. Let's go here. That's good. Now I'm going to make you host. And you're going to take that. You got that? You good? All right, sir. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great morning, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, Mark.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks, Tim. All right, guys. You get me for the next 7 hours. This is going to be awesome. Um, so I like to do these Ignite courses and make it a little interactive. I don't want to just sit up here and speak the whole time. I love questions. I love comments. I want to, get to know each and every one of you and kind of help you through your business at the same time. Um, we have a slide deck that we are going to follow, although I tend to go a little bit off of the slide deck, and I'm happy to have kind of additional conversations around it. I mean, we have 7 hours to fill here, so I'm just kidding. We're not here for 7 hours. Um, so let's just take a moment. I want to kind of find out who's in the room here and what you are currently doing in the business, like where you're at, if you're just licensed, if you've been in the business for a year or 2 years or whatever it might be. Let's kind of go around the room if it's all right. And I'm just going to go in order of the people that show up on my screen. So I've got Chelsea.
I am waiting for my license to go active right
Cool.
now. I'm gonna be based in Keller Williams in Portsmouth. I have absolutely no real estate experience. I did own my own business for a while, but it's nothing. I mean, that's all the experience that I really have, some retail.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited to start.
Well, welcome aboard.
Thanks.
Hope you enjoy the business. I got Jeff next.
I've been doing it for about 3 months full time. I got my license back in June. I'm on Luana's team.
Nice.
So I think I've run into you a couple times at some of the events and stuff.
Yeah, I think I met you at the golf.
Yeah.
Yep.
Swinging the clubs. Yep.
Yep.
But my background is 25 years in sales, mostly in the food and beverage side. But yeah, I just something I've always wanted to do. Bought and sold a few of my own houses, and figured I wanted to make a career out of it. So.
Love it. Any transactions for you yet? Take any listings, any buyers?
No, yeah, I've got a couple people waiting to go through pre-qualification. I'm waiting on a listing to come on board, hopefully this fall in the next month or so. So just kind of, trying to be nice and push people in a good direction, but not be too pushy.
Yeah. Well, you got it. Just keep hammering away. And I've got Marley next. I don't know if Marley knows that we're on mute. All right, we'll move on. Candy. And there we go.
Hello.
Hi,
How's it
Candy.
going? Nice to meet
Good.
you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as
I've,
well.
I've really been having a great time with these Ignite classes.
Good.
I've been learning a lot. Um, I will say it again, Jeff and I are right on the same time frame period.
Cool.
We went to orientation together in July. I got licensed in late June. I did not join a team. I was working full time this summer. In hospitality, I work for Tuscan Brands, so I work at a waterfront spot in Newburyport, and just very, very busy this summer. So I've just stepped back from a full time schedule, and I'm trying to just to do it. So
Nice.
I'm a sponge right now. I'm trying to get all the info I can. It's been so awesome to meet all of the different agents teaching Ignite. I've taken something away from connecting with everybody, and yeah, it's just been awesome, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to hear what you have to say.
Perfect. Perfect. I love it. Well, welcome to KW as well. Glad that you decided a career in real estate. Dawn?
Good morning. I've actually been licensed for 7 years, but for 5 years, the past 5 years, I was full-time caregiver for my sister who was disabled. She recently passed, so now I have more time to devote to real estate. Like I was doing it part-time when I had my sisters. So I'm here for the motivation, for the help, and just to feel like I'm part of things, because I have felt like I was kind of floating around out in my own little world trying to do real estate, and I need to feel more connected.
Yeah. Well, welcome in. Hopefully you guys get a lot out of this session of Ignite. Like Tim said, we're doing capture more leads. And I think that, ultimately, I think what a lot of people don't understand when they get into this business is, a lot of people think that they're going to get into the business and they're just showing houses. And in reality, there's a whole larger business component to real estate than showing and looking at houses. You have to find the business, you have to get the business, and you have to maintain the business. And you've got contracts and all of that as well. And one of the things that we're going over today that capture the leads is what's going to bring new business to you, which is going to be one of the most important parts of this business. um, you know what is the saying, even a blind squirrel gets a nut. um, you know you can go through this business waiting for that nut to come to you. You can just sit in the tree, wait to get, knocked in the head with it. Or you can go scour the ground and collect all the nuts that you possibly can. And that's what lead generation is just, going out hunting and feeding yourself. Um, and, more you're out there, more business you're going to get. So let's kind of get started here. Alrighty. So we're like I said, we're covering capturing more leads today. And I know that many of you have probably been dialed into Ignite so far, and some of you might even be, this is your first time. This is the 9th course or 9th session of Ignite. And hopefully you've learned quite a bit so far, but in my opinion, capturing leads, whether it's through, just making calls, lead generation, your database, which, these are all things that you've gone through previously, doing open houses, doing social media. It doesn't matter how you're capturing the leads, just as long as you're out there doing the work. And that's the most important thing, right? All righty. Is there anything that you've covered so far that is worth mentioning that you think that the group could benefit from, that you've brought big ahas from previous Ignites? All right. Let's see. Does everybody have the workbook? There's
Yeah, I mean, I've got it.
opportunity.
I've got it on my computer, so I kind of follow through that way.
Okay. Yeah, if you there's a QR code on here, or a link. If you do need it, you can download it. I'll leave this up here for just a second, just in case. Let me know if I need to circle back to that if somebody needs it. All right, so today's agenda, we're going to we're going to kind of work through, the systems that work in, bear with me. I suck at following a script. I love just going off script. So when I start reading through stuff, it's bad news. So we're going to start working through systems that work. We're going to compare prospecting versus marketing. Go through the gold mine of referrals and all the different sources. Oh, getting a little feedback. I don't know what happened there. Okay. All right. Capturing every lead, and then, we'll recap on everything and go over some ahas that each of us have discovered. So I want to read this quote by Gary Keller. You love people, but at the same time, you haven't yet learned to love hunting for them. I'd love to hear what this means to you.
For me, it's like, it's, you haven't learned, you gotta hustle. Like it's not it shouldn't be a grind. It should be something that you genuinely like to do. Like go out and help somebody find a house, like you're helping them and you have to learn how to love that.
Yeah. Um, you know, Ultimately learning to love lead generation and what you do, the hunt for people, the people that are ready, willing, and able to buy and sell real estate. Um, that's a very important part of our business. And, ultimately that's what's going to lead you into success in this business is finding those people. There's a lot of people out there that are buying and selling houses, and finding them at the right time um, is the biggest part of the strategy, right? All right. So your number one job is to find ways to get in the path of motivated buyers and sellers. It's always smart to be reminded of our number one job as real estate agents. It's lead generation. Without leads, we have no sales, no business, no money. Um, it's just bad news from there. So it's all about the leads. We are first and foremost in the business of lead generation. Most important thing. So if you're going to learn anything, it's lead generation. That's, you could sit in these classes all day long and learn, but until you get out there and start lead generating, you're really not in real estate. So dig in, get out there, do the work, and you'll have a blast with it. All right. So there's two M's of lead generation. You've got message and then you've got method. Um, so this is going to kind of tell you, the two ways to make your lead generation a little bit more effective. The message, of course, is going to be, you know, you're going to match in the market. You're going to make an offer of immediate response, or MOFR, as Gary would like to call it. Ultimately what that is, the message might be, you're looking to find sellers. The message for immediate response on something like this would be if, you're putting an ad out there for someone to get a free home estimate or a CMA, which, by the way, people don't know what a CMA is. If you're not in real estate, don't say CMA when in your marketing. People do not know what CMA is. So, home estimate, home valuation. Actually, does everybody here know what a CMA is?
Yep.
Comparative market analysis.
Yep.
Is that, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of our real estate agent's version of an appraisal, if you will. You're pricing out the house, you're comparing it to the market. But yeah, ultimately, we have a lot of sayings that we use in this business, and you're going to learn them if you haven't already. And, know what your clients know. Think of yourself before you're in real estate. Would CMA make sense to you? But anyway, an offer for immediate response would be, call here or call us or click here for your home evaluation. Any questions on that? Okay. Another thing that you know, would kind of fall into this bracket. You know, this house just came on the market. It's fantastic. It's got, 3 bedrooms, pool. If you're looking for a home in this neighborhood, call me right away. Interest rates just went lower, which, they are coming down. If you're considering buying a house now or thinking about refinancing, I can put you in touch with a great lender. Give me a call. So you're kind of putting the message out there, and then you're looking for that response. All righty. And if I cruise through things too quickly, just slow me down. Please ask questions. Going into the method, there's 2 primary methods of getting your message out to a target group. You've got prospecting and you've got marketing. I believe if you've already been in another Ignite, you've probably already gone over this. Does anybody here know what the difference is between prospecting and marketing?
I feel like they might kind of be the same thing, but maybe just go about them a little differently.
So they are actually incredibly different, but they work hand in hand with each other. My gut tells me if I go to the next slide, it's probably going to be what prospecting and marketing is. So I'm going to
Prospecting, it's kind of prospecting. You're kind of going out. It's a little bit shorter. It's more direct. Usually costs less. I think the slab is like marketing. Usually takes longer, costs more money. But you're marketing yourself versus going out and searching for your own leads. You're waiting for things to come to you.
yeah.
With the 2.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, prospecting is a lot of, phone calls. You're calling people to, whether it's your sphere, you're calling through a neighborhood, circle prospecting. It doesn't cost any money, relatively speaking, to call people. It doesn't cost any money to knock on doors. Marketing, generally speaking, costs money. You're putting ads out there. You're putting messages out there for people to respond to. It's a completely different approach. Ultimately, they're going to work hand in hand together. As newer agents, you're probably going to be a little bit better suited to focus on the prospecting aspect of it, because it doesn't cost money. And if you practice it, you tend to be a little bit more effective. You're already in front of the people. So, all right. So leads are everywhere. Okay. When you're truly on the hunt for leads, you will find, plenty of opportunities. I mean, really. We can go into a coffee shop. I mean, actually, we have real estate agents that will work from coffee shops just so they can meet people in there. You might meet people in the grocery store. Wear branded logos. If you see somebody pick up a real estate book, don't be afraid to talk to them. You'd be surprised on where you can get business. First, I guess we'll go through this approach, connect, and ask. First, you're going to approach people with a conversation starter. I overheard you talking about an open house. Are you looking for a home in this area? That's just the random person that you're going up to. I noticed that you've got this, this real estate book. Are you searching for a house? That's great. Listen, I'm a real estate agent. I'd love an opportunity, or honestly, you're going to ask more questions, but I'd love an opportunity to follow up with you and see, how I can help. Are you? And the ask would be, are you looking for a real estate agent to work with, or are you currently working with a real estate agent? Would you like to know more about the process of buying? I feel like that's pretty simple and straightforward. Ultimately, put yourself in front of people. And if you don't say anything, they're not going to know you're in the business. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All righty. All right. Ahas. Any takeaways, any thoughts so far?
Always have an open mind wherever you are. Just know that you can remember somebody could be your next client.
Really anybody can. You'd be surprised where your business is going to come from. Thanks, Jeff. Anything else?
What's your opinion on like paying for leads when you're first getting started? Do you think it's a good idea?
I mean, it's ultimately up to you. I mean, what your budget is. Um, I mean, I personally pay for leads. I have I have the business to support it. I think the most important thing to you in this business is going to be your sphere. So if you haven't talked to your sphere at least once or twice, I'd probably focus on that opportunity first. Let everybody know that you're in the business before you start buying leads.
Okay. That's
Um,
what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to talk to as many people, and I got business cards, and I just got social media up and running a few weeks ago, cleared through compliance. So I'm trying to set up another social page. I've been trying to put myself out there, and I have a lot of opportunity at my job. When I see a lot of people, I talk to a lot of people. So I've been trying to tap into that too.
yep. Yeah, take advantage of those relationships first. Um, I like I said, I pay for leads for myself and for my team. It's a great way to generate new business, but I wouldn't put everything behind that, and I wouldn't let that be the basis of your business. Um, over half of our, around half, over half, somewhere around there, of our business as a team right now is, just from people we know. It's from our sphere. It's from our past clients. Um, and then throw on top of that open houses. I would start doing open houses before I start paying for leads. I mean, at open houses, you're going to get people that are already working with other real estate agents. You're also going to get folks that are just starting their process. And open houses is a relationship builder. A lot of times people that aren't represented at an open house are, going to be those people that are going to end up purchasing 3, 6, sometimes a year up the road. And that's your first opportunity to establish a relationship, provide value. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any other ahas or questions? So I think the only thing that I would kind of add to that is, you know, put yourself out there. The more people that you're talking to, the more people that you're getting in front of, ultimately the more business you're going to get. There's two things that are going to drive you through this business, and that's going to be skill, which means like practicing, learning, all of that. And then there's going to be that hard work component. You can have no skill at all. If you're talking to enough people, you're going to get business. If you combine the two of them, you're going to kill it. You're just going to do very well in the business. Talk to a lot of people, have the skill to know the conversations to have. Don't just sit, through Ignite and do all the classes and don't put it into action. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I want to put it into action.
There you go.
How many people are on your team? You said you run your own team, right?
Yeah, I have a team.
How many people do you have?
So we are, let's see, I have a total of 8 agents, including myself. I have an admin of 3, and I have an ISA, which is an inside sales associate. That's basically, their lack of a better term, they're a telemarketer. They're calling all the leads. So what we're talking about here is kind of what they're putting into play on a daily basis. That's their job.
Okay.
So if that doesn't give you an indication of how important I think this is. All right. All right, let's keep rolling here. How much time do we have set aside for this? What is it, 2 hours?
All of it, yeah.
I think it's 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to see what we're tracking here. All right, we've got another quote by none other than Gary. Lead generation is a contact sport with simple rules. It means making contact with people through prospecting marketing. I actually have a shirt that says real estate is a contact sport. I should have wore it today. Love to hear what this quote means to you.
And just no matter what way you do it, whether, I think kind of something we're on session 9 now, like every agent that's like all you guys who have been presenting have had kind of have your own way, but like you're all reaching out and contacting people, whether it's through mailers or networking or whatever it is that your thing is. You guys all kind of have a thing, and that's like, the quote unquote a contact sport, right? Like you gotta find a way to get to people one way or another and
Yep.
just be consistent.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. I mean, I'm social. I mean, you can tell that I'm not a tech person. If you guys were here at the beginning of this, you know that's not my thing. In fact, Tim was talking about furniture that I put on Facebook, that I've had in storage. I was able to do that pretty successfully this morning, but I also I put my boat up for sale the other day. It should have taken me about 5 minutes to put it on Facebook Marketplace, but I swear to God, it took me about an hour. I suck with technology, and what I'm getting at is that's not my focus. I don't focus on social media stuff. I do have other people on my team that do. I do have administrative staff that does, but me personally, that's not my thing. That's not where my business is going to come from because it's not what I'm good at. I'm a little bit, put me in front of people. I'll go to business after hours, meet new people. I'm not afraid of talking to people in random places at the bar. Someone sitting next to me at the bar, I'll strike up a conversation, no questions. So I guess what I'm getting at is, you could be the person that does mailers and have that be your thing, and then you're doing your lead gen follow up from there. You could be the person that does the social media. You could be the person that just focuses on one neighborhood and they're knocking on every door. They're knowing everything about that neighborhood. It doesn't matter what it is. Do something that you're going to do, because if you're not going to do it, don't focus on it, right? All right. So in order to catch leads, you have, basically people that are at any moment in time, a different part of the cycle of buying and selling. Everybody that you know is going to be somewhere on this graph. And I think they have on there 7 to 10 years because on average, people move every 7 to 10 years. It used to be 7. I think it's actually closer to 10 or 11 now, believe it or not. But ultimately, someone's going to be somewhere on this cycle. And I think the question is, at what point in time do you want to be in front of these people? Chelsea, when do you think the best time to be in front of these people is?
The whole time. Like all the time, but probably right before the 7-year mark, like right maybe around 6 years. Like if people usually move between 7 and 10, they're gonna be looking for quite a while. So I mean maybe before they move.
Yeah. So you said it perfectly at first, all the time.
Yeah.
Thing is, you don't know when people are going to be moving. And if you have a relationship with them that carries through those 7, 10 years, you're going to be in front of them, or your chances of being in front of them when that time comes is going to be much higher. And that's really the point of it all. Has anybody heard of 33 touch? Has that been brought up in Ignite at all so far?
No, I
And-
haven't.
Haven't seen it, or at least haven't heard it. Not saying
You
it hasn't
haven't?
been done, but
So a 33 touch is, and sorry, this isn't in the slides, but 33 touch is basically all of your sphere or all the people that you know. Um, it's getting in contact with them 33 times throughout the year. And it's building a system around doing that. Does it mean that you have to talk to them 33 times throughout the year? No. Um, it could be email. You could write a personal note. It could be a phone call. It could be mail. But 33 times throughout the year in one manner, social media. I mean, you could comment on a social media post. Build a system around that to, your important people, your sphere, to stay in front of them throughout. 33 sounds like a lot. There's a lot of that stuff that's actually plug and play, so you don't really have to think about it. Set people up on market reports so that they know how much their home value is worth. I don't use Command personally, but we have Command. I guarantee that technology is in there. Excuse me.
what do you use?
I use a program called Brivity.
Yeah, right. You're like the second person that's mentioned that.
Yep. It's a CRM. We, obviously we pay for it. It's going to do a lot of the functions that Command does. For me, it's a little bit better because it's more geared towards Teams, where I think, or at least Command didn't used to have that great of capability when it came to Teams. So, but yeah, if is everybody set up on Command in here? I think Chelsea, you're the one that said that you're not quite licensed yet. You're just waiting for your
Yeah,
license.
I'm my license. We put my application in a couple weeks ago, and I'm just waiting to hear back. So I'm just taking as many classes as I can until
Yep.
I can actually do something.
So ultimately, if you haven't been set up on Command yet, you're going to be set up on Command. Use it. And if you don't use Command, use some kind of CRM that is going to keep track of the people that you know, the people that you've met in the business, your leads, and schedule follow-ups. It's the most important thing that you could possibly do, because if you don't, you're going to forget about people. I mean, yeah, if you know 10 people and you've had 10 leads, your chances of remembering all of them and remembering to follow up is going to be pretty high. But as you get into the business and you meet more people, you will drop the ball without having a program to remind you. So plug in early, learn it, use it. It doesn't matter what the program is, they're all going to work. I mean, you could use note cards for all that matters. You might not be as effective, but have a reminder system. Is that helpful?
Yep.
All right.
I think so.
I think we already hit on this. See, I get ahead of myself. We talked a little bit earlier about prospecting versus marketing. So marketing is going to be a little bit more money intensive. It's going to be passive. You're going to get long-term results off of it. Marketing is what's going to kind of draw people into you slowly over time. And a lot of marketing is consistency. Prospecting is going to be a little bit more time intensive. So, you're making a lot more phone calls, you're reaching out there, you're proactive. The benefit of it is you can draw people out quickly and get immediate results. And so what the difference is, marketing, you might, you know, take a half an hour and build an ad that's going to sit out there for a month and go to work for you. And over that month it sits out there, you might get 2 leads off of it that then you have to follow up on. Prospecting is taking a list of 100 people, 50 people, 200 people, whatever it is, calling through all of them, asking whatever questions that you have to ask, whether it's, are you looking to sell? Are you looking to buy? I'm going to kind of shorten that up a little bit, and drawing people out so that you can set up an appointment and work with them. Okay. Well, here you go. So looks like we have a list of what prospecting looks like. I kind of take a minute and read through that. What I would say is go ahead and start circling things that you think that might be interesting to you or easy for you, fun for you. Has everybody had a chance to read through that?
Yeah.
Candy, have you read through that?
Yeah, I'm going through it right now.
Okay. I'd be curious what each of you have. Candy, what have you circled? What kind of pops out to you?
I am looking to target I live in Kittery. I'm licensed in Maine. I'm
Yep.
looking to get a New Hampshire license, hopefully by the end of the year, beginning of next year. But I really want to target like the Maine Seacoast. I want to target my area in Kittery, York, Wells, and Gunkwit, and Kennebunk, and that not too far past that, but pretty much predominantly in my neighborhoods where I've been living. I moved out here in 2013, and I know the area well. I wanted to target that to start. There's been a lot of properties, been a lot of activity on my street where I live. I have a house right across the street from me. I'm looking at it right now. It's listed for 1.1, but it's been on the market for a while. And I've seen them do some open houses and showings over there. And there's four houses total this year on my street up for sale. So I feel like my neighborhood is, there's some action here. So I got some door hangers in a nice hot pink color that hold my business card. And I was going to start canvassing my immediate neighborhood. I've got some of those. I was going to start there and, try to boost my online presence a little bit.
Yeah. So you're looking at the number 7 on there to door canvassing. Going back to what we talked about a little bit earlier, what's your message and what's your MOFR, your message for immediate response on there? How are people going to respond back to you?
Well, hopefully they don't just take it and throw it in the trash, but I don't know, my info's on there. And as I was going to, my friend, I have a agent friend that works with me in the restaurant, and he's licensed in Mass. And he's, I was asking him if he ever door knocked or cold called when he got started. And he said he never did any of it. He said never felt comfortable doing it. And I said, no, that I wanted to go door knocking. And he's like, well, I have friends that do it, and I have friends that really enjoy it. And he said, if you're out there door knocking, you're out in your neighborhood, you might run into some people while you're trying to go to, their house, and you might find them in the driveway or, outside in their, in their lawn, and you can actually talk to somebody as opposed to, just leaving something on their door and then hopefully get their info into your database. But somebody else, I can't remember who was telling, was it the class before last, but was somebody saying about how if you can target, what was she saying? I think it was, oh man, I can't remember which one. I lost it. Sorry, I was
No,
working
that's
late,
all right.
really late last night. My brain is not quite awake yet.
So for door-to-door canvassing, a lot of times it's nice to, well, first of all, are you just going to the door and hanging your
I
your
haven't done it yet. I just got them last week.
okay. So what's your plan? Are you looking to hang something on the door? Or are you planning to knock on the door?
I don't really have a plan.
Good idea
I
to
just,
good idea to
I
make a
have a lot of
plan.
ideas. I haven't really executed anything yet.
I find that people are generally a little bit more receptive if you're giving them something of value, um, or providing a value to the community. So some things to think about, and absolutely go to the doors, I mean, you can go and just put your door hangers on there. That's absolutely fine. You're getting your name out there. You can go and knock on the door and introduce yourself. You're getting your name out there. You're starting the name recognition thing. They're probably going to forget you if you don't come back. Some things to think about is, you know, start in that same neighborhood, um, an event where, you go and put a door hanger out and then that says, you're going to be collecting cans for food pantry, and then go back, knock on the doors, or I mean, give people a bag. You just hang the bag on the door that says you're collecting food for the food pantry. And when you're coming back, go back that following week or 2 weeks later to collect it and introduce yourself to everybody. Um, that's an opportunity to get in front of people. You're not being a pushy salesperson. You're letting them know that you're in real estate and you're doing something good for the community.
I like that.
So just some things to think about when you're going out there. And another thing that we've done is, when door knock around open houses, and you tell them about the house that's on the market in their neighborhood. You ask if they'd be interested in hearing how you make out after the open house, and you can reach back to people and just say, "Hey, we put it under agreement," whatever it is. You're providing value because you're giving them the scoop on what's happening in their neighborhood. We've gone around door knocking and we'll just give our business card and a Powerball ticket, a scratch ticket. And we would just say to people, "Hey, listen, you know, we'd love to save you some money in real estate, but we would also like to make you some money. Hopefully you win. Let us know." And that's it. You're letting people know that you're in real estate, you're doing something fun. They're going to look back at the scratch ticket or Powerball ticket that your card is stapled to, um, and hopefully kind of see your card a few times. Just fun little things like that. Obviously, they cost
Yeah,
money.
and
But,
the scratch ticket thing is good. We could do like dollar tickets though,
oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
just something. Yeah, I like that.
Jeff, what popped out to you on this?
I've done a little bit of everything. Like I have some software I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to keep it or sell the login or something about expired and FSBOs, but it's just I haven't had a lot of traction with that. I've done some mailing campaigns so far, which have actually surprised how effective they have been. And then just a lot of Sphere, social media, just really staying in contact with everybody who I know as best I can, and just trying to be there when somebody's ready.
Yep. Have you made any expired or for sale by owner calls yet?
Oh yeah, they're an adventure. Yeah, so I haven't really had any traction. I've done some expired, some of those, some pre-foreclosure. So it's I've messed around. I'm not really a script person, but I understand they're important, or at least like having the same message. So like
Yeah.
I've just been trying to figure out what the best way to talk to people was. I tried to call originally. I've gotten a lot more responses with text. So I've started to text some of these numbers that are cell phone numbers versus call.
Yep.
That seems to be a little bit more effective. I think people are a little bit more likely to send a text message back than pick up a phone call from someone they don't know. So yeah, just trying to weed around in the waters and see what works best for me still.
So I'm a little old school. Um, I have this thing, it's called the script book.
Yep.
And you got, I don't know if you guys can see in here, but so first tab on here is expireds. Then I've got for sale by owners, and it is a book of bunch of scripts. I mean, ultimately, you're only going to get, if you're calling expireds on a daily basis, for sale by owners, your responses are all going to be the same.
Yep.
And when you're practicing scripts, you don't have to read the script. It's just knowing how to respond. So having that message, I mean, it's nice. It's nice to do some scripting. I mean, for example, like on expireds, they're going to tell you one of a few things. I mean, basically, you're going to have like 5 or 6 responses that you can actually expect from people. I'm going to go with the same agent. I'm going to sell it myself, which, whatever, that turns into a for sale by owner. I'm going to take it off the market. We've decided to stay. I've already found another agent. And where were you when my house was on the market? You know, basically those are the directions that people are going to go, or they're just going to hang up on you, which is, it's a blast. That's like a win, because you know if somebody hung up on you, the next call they're going to finally talk to you. You got that hang up out of the way.
Don't be afraid to know.
But ultimately knowing those scripts is going to make that a lot easier for you. You don't have to read it. You don't have to like sound like a robot or anything like that. So if somebody says to you, "Hey, that's great. I'm going to go," well, or no, sorry, that's great. I'm going to go with the same agent. You want to reply back and say, "That's great. Let me ask
How'd
you
that
a
go the last
question."
time?
What's that?
How'd that go the last time? Like,
Yeah. What are they going to do for you this time that they didn't do last time that's going to cause your house to sell? And just stop. Let them think about that. Well, they said they were going to try hard. You have your in. They're trying to think through like, yeah, maybe this isn't a good idea. Sometimes it just takes a new method and a new approach, and sometimes it just takes a new agent to get things done. Probably wouldn't hurt to hear what I have to say. Do you have time tomorrow at 5 o'clock so that we can meet and talk about how we can actually get your house sold? I mean,
yeah.
Practice, do the scripts. It's important.
Roger.
All right. Anybody else find anything on here that we haven't heard anything? I don't think Marley's even on here.
They said something. In
No,
the
I
text.
am. Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
My mic wasn't working and my cats were being brats, so
All right.
couldn't turn it on in time.
Anything that's popping out to you as a direction that you think you'd like to work on this?
Yeah, this was actually an idea from one of the other people on the leadership team, Susan. I work for a cleaning company. We go to houses and clean them. And she said it'd be good to work in like collaboration and do like hey, do you need your house cleaned for like the open house or something like that? And I'm also a real estate agent, so kind of working in collaboration with that because we go all around the seacoast.
Yep. Yeah. There's so many different ways to draw out business. Just keep an open mind with it.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Marketing. So this is going to be a list of the different marketing things that you can do. It's not everything, but it's a list of, all the different places that you can market yourself. Spend some money to draw traffic towards you. Again, these are going to be the longer plays. It's about putting name recognition out there. Just take a moment and read through that. Any thoughts or any questions on this list? I think it's pretty straightforward. You have a long list on there of places you can spend your money to get out there. Okay. Now this is going to be your group of things that you can combine both marketing and prospecting. Like farming neighborhoods. I know Candy was talking about Kittery, I believe. And door knocking around the neighborhood, putting her pink door hangers up with her card on it. In addition to doing the door knocking, you can send out mailers to that, start small. I think, what is it? In most neighborhoods, I think like 3 to 5% of the neighborhood is going to end up moving throughout the year. So if you pick 100 houses, you could have 3 to 5 houses that might end up moving. So start small. Work 100 houses if that's what it takes. Go door knock 100. Go, collect cans at 100 for charity. Put some mailers out to the 100. Do an event where you give those 100 homes some free ice cream or something. You just sit out in front of the ice cream place, and that's a way to draw people in. Not everybody's going to show up, but you'll get to meet people. Any questions on this list? Anything that jumps out at you?
I'll ask you real quick. Just so for neighborhood farming, do you have any indicators or any kind of I'm sure you have a system for it, but like, is there something specific you look if you're going to like farm a neighborhood? Like, do you have any demographic info, or is there a certain like age of the neighborhood that you look for, or anything along those lines?
Well, I think if you go into the MLS and find the neighborhoods that have a higher turnover, to me, that's going to be more beneficial than, unless you're focusing on a luxury market and you just want to focus on a high price neighborhood. I'd rather see the turnover. I'd rather go to a neighborhood that's going to have that 5%. It's kind of like your more introductory neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's where I would go.
So kind of like a starter neighborhood, quote unquote.
Yeah. Because they
Gotcha.
usually have a bigger turnover. They'll buy those homes and then they start their family and then they grow out of them. So they tend to move a little bit quicker on that 7 to 10 year scale. Whereas, the more luxury homes or, higher priced homes in the town they're generally later in life. They're kind of dug into that neighborhood. They're probably there for, more like 15 years. They're going to have a little bit less turnover.
Yeah, because I don't know. I have I have a couple tools that are like our team we have that I've kind of built like I wouldn't call it a heat map, but like I basically look for, neighborhoods that, to your point, like have some houses that have been there 10 to 15 years, some at 5. Then I kind of give everybody like a neighborhood score of like, do I want to bother with this one or not?
Yeah.
That's how I kind of look at it, or I have been.
Yeah, and a lot of times well, I'm a big fan of just focusing on one neighborhood rather than, you know, going in a bunch of different directions. Stay consistent. I mean, a lot of times with sending those like mailers and doing the geographic farming and stuff like that, that's it's gonna take a year before you even see anything come back on it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's all about name recognition. I do just listed, just solds in a neighborhood. We door knock the neighborhood. Um, I do like events. I do a neighborhood, organize a neighborhood cleanup, same neighborhood. Just all different ways to get in front of people.
Yep.
All right. All right. So digging into the prospecting versus marketing, obviously that's the whole list of what we had just gone over. Um, I think, you know, one of the things that you can do as far as prospecting marketing is to, you know, have a little bit of focus on that social media aspect. It's not something that I do entirely myself, but every day, you know, if social media is going to be your thing, make it a point to be engaged, make a post every day that's not necessarily real estate related. So keep in mind, you want people to know that you're in real estate, but don't be like in your face with it. So post about the community, post about fundraisers, post about quotes, um, then put yourself out there as a real estate agent and just kind of have it be in the mix. Um, Combine that with direct messages to people. If somebody comments on something, you know, comment back or have a side conversation directly with them. It'll kind of single them out, make them feel a little more important. Say happy birthday. All right. So it's asking for ahas. I feel like we kept an open dialogue in that. I could probably skip this. Am I okay to skip ahas in this section? Don, did you have something to say? You have an aha?
Oh, no, actually, I was saying that, yes, you could skip the aha. I
right.
actually like when you throw in like the personal stories and things like that. That helps
Oh,
just make some of the points come more to life. So if you have any of those to throw in, I'd appreciate it.
I have so many stories. I'll try my best.
If you can squeeze them into the 2-hour
Yeah.
window that we have here, but
All right. So client referrals. So we've personally in my business, we've kind of made it or tried to make it more of a point to ask our clients for referrals. I try to do it, you know, throughout the transaction itself. So client referrals is a lead generation source. It's a way to lead generate. Obviously, in order to get client referrals, you first need clients. So focus on the lead generation to get clients first. But once you have clients, remind them throughout the process. You might not even be under contract yet. You're out looking for houses. Tell them that, you know, most of your business is done by referrals. And if they happen to know anybody from work, church, from sports, family, friends that are looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate to keep you in mind. And if you do know of somebody, so what I say is if you do know of somebody, give me a call and let me know. Because if you give them my business card or just tell them about me, chances are pretty good that they're either going to forget or they're going to lose my card and they're not going to reach out. And then I can't help them. They're going to end up with an agent that doesn't know what they're doing. And that whole time I could have helped them. So reach out to me. I'll follow up with them. And that way I can make sure that we're going to take great care of them. and we'll have that conversation, you know, like I said, when we sign with them, when they go under contract on a house, around the time of closing. I'll give them a call a week after closing and have another conversation with them about referrals. Most likely time that someone's going to refer you is when they're in the process of moving themselves, because people are like, oh yeah, we're thinking about moving too. Whenever somebody sends us a referral, we always give them a $25 gift card, not for the sale, for the referral. So we want to reward the act. I'll send them a handwritten thank you note with that $25 referral. We actually go a little above and beyond that. So I actually do quarterly client events. And at each client event, throughout the year, we keep track of all the people that have referred us. So last week we did a client event for apple picking. And out of all the people that have referred us this year, I think there was like 20 some odd people that have referred us to their friends, family, coworkers, whatever. We put them in that bucket and we pick out a grand prize at every single one of our events, showing people, hey, we appreciate you referring us. And, you know, we want to give you a gift card to the Wentworth Spa, a local restaurant. You don't have to go to that level. Just doing the $25 gift card or $10 gift card to Starbucks says thank you and shows them that you appreciate it. Another way to get some additional business or lead flow is agent to agent referrals. I know a lot of agents that will focus on this. I mean, I have one of the guys on my team, Ezra. I think he does a fantastic job. He goes to breakfast and coffee and whatever with agents all the time, and you know they exchange business ideas. He invites them to our masterminds that we do on our team, and he tends to get quite a few agent to agent referrals. You know, um, we're licensed in New Hampshire and Maine, so he'll meet with people down in Massachusetts. He'll meet with people, you know, on the peripherals of our market that often will refer people over. So great way to get referrals, no cost up front, but ultimately agent to agent referrals will cost money in the end. You end up paying, you know, your 25% referral fee roughly. Any questions on either of those agent to agent or client referrals? I guess we're still cruising through agent to agent referrals. So the slide wants you to think about ways to grow your agent referral network. You know, keep track of the agents that you meet, reach out to them, agents in other cities, other states, other locations. You know, systemize your approach to staying in contact with them. Manage them. That CRM that we talked about, Command, put them in Command. Schedule follow-ups with them. Have automatic emails go out to them on a monthly basis that just says, you know, hey, we give 26% referral, which seems like a random number, but it's higher than the 25 that they're used to. If you know of somebody that's looking to New Hampshire, move to New Hampshire or move to Maine, we'll give you a 26% referral. Give me a call. Send that same email every month to your list of agents. I guarantee you'll end up getting something off of it. They'll start to remember you, and people will probably block your email at the same time. So expect that to happen as well. And you know, maintain your network. I mean, just keep it up to date. Keep up with communication. If they get out of the business, you know, get them off your list. and keep them up to date on the referrals that they've given you as well. People want to know what's happening with the referrals they're giving out. You can utilize Command to find agents outside of the market area. Another way to do it is to go to like education stuff that other market centers are hosting. You know, a lot of times you can go over to Manchester, you can go to something down in Massachusetts or up to Portland and do classes that they're hosting in those market centers to meet other agents. So you're going to learn at the same time you're going to meet other people. I mean, a lot of times people will do bold at other market centers just for the sake of getting in front of other agents, and then they build those relationships. I have, I think, 3 people that are referral partners of mine that I met at Bold 10 years ago. Does anybody here know what Bold is?
I took it this year at our market center.
What's that?
I took it this year when they had it here.
You did?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sure like Chelsea's not even licensed yet. Um, there's probably a few of you that don't know what Bold is, but it's a, I think, 7-week training course, um, mostly designed on lead generation. It's the the whole purpose of it, or what Bold stands for, is building a life of design, I believe. So it's basically earning money and, you know, how to live a work-life balance. It kind of brings you through. What'd you think of it, Jeff?
I think there's some really good things in it. I also think I may have been too new to really fully get all of it. However, I don't really have any bad habits yet. So I think I think there's a lot of really good things. And I think there was a lot of things that, for me, I think some of the implementation stuff, like Ignite, has a little bit more technical stuff. It's a little bit, the workbook's a little different. I think adding some of that into Bold would make it better. But like for me, like my first day as a licensed agent was day 1 of Bold. So like that's
Okay. Oh,
that's
you
all I've
jumped
ever
right in.
known. Yeah, I haven't known any different. So
Yeah. If you guys ever have an opportunity to take it, it is a great course. I haven't done it in years, so the newer model of it, I haven't done anything with.
yeah, I mean it was a really helpful class. Like you said, I'd recommend it to anybody on this call who hasn't taken it. But yeah,
Cool.
it was good.
All right. So that's worldwide referrals. Actually, that brings in another point. When you tell people that you're in real estate, don't just tell them you can only help people in New Hampshire, or you can only help people in Maine. You can help people everywhere. You can't actively work them, but we want them to keep us in mind if they're planning to move, not if they're planning to move to New Hampshire or Maine or wherever you're licensed. If they're moving out to Italy, we have agents in Italy. You can make a 25% referral off of it. Think of those revenue streams, and those referrals outbound referrals are pretty easy. You know what I mean? You know the person, you introduce them to somebody, and then 3 months later you get paid because they bought a house in Italy or South Carolina. Carolinas and Florida are big ones around here. A lot of moving in between. Business to business referrals. I think Marley mentioned that she is a cleaner, and I mean, ultimately, uh, you know, businesses are great opportunity to meet people as well. I mean, think about when you go to the hairdresser or the barber, they talk to you the entire time. And if you go back to that same person every couple of months, 3 months. I don't know how often you get a haircut, but if you're going back to that same person, what a great opportunity. You're forced into a conversation with somebody for, I don't know, for men it's like 15 minutes, but for women, I think that they're usually there for like an hour. Um, they're going to ask you about what you do. Just make sure to remind them, I'm always looking for more business. Who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Maybe you're a dentist, your doctor, your veterinary, your accountant, financial planner, pool company, landscaper. They're all, I mean, you have ways to drive business to them, and they have ways to drive business to you. So think of, how you can bring value to them. Like, hey, listen, I'd really love to drive business to you. I know in real estate, I list houses and they need work. So a handyman, plumber, electrician, they're always coming up. I'd love to drive more business to you. How can I do that? And keep me in mind if you happen to know of anybody that's looking to move. All right. So this is asking us to make a list of, different businesses that we think that we're plugged into, um, that you'd like to connect with, that you think you can get business to business referrals off of. If it's all right with you, I'm kind of going to cruise through this and you guys can think about that afterwards. We talked a little bit earlier about geographic farming. Um, Geographic farming it's a collection of homes in a neighborhood, um, that you're going to target and farm to. You're going to do mailers. You're going to do those events, do social media posts around the neighborhood. Think of it as a collaborative of everything that you're doing is focused on getting business from that neighborhood. You're going to talk about homes that are for sale in the neighborhood, even if they're not yours. You're going to talk about open houses in the neighborhood, um, host open houses in the neighborhood. It doesn't have to be your house. Have a neighborhood block party. Do some marketing at, the neighborhood yard sale. Or just go introduce yourself at the neighborhood yard sale. Know the area, know what's happening, know what's sold, know what's coming to the market. So it looks like we have a list of things that you can do. I mean, looks like we've already kind of hit on most of those things, but yeah, social media marketing around that neighborhood. Having conversations with people. Hey, if you walk your dog every day, by the way, carry some extra dog bones for other people that are walking their dog. Go up and pet their dog. Ask them if it's okay if you can give them a dog bone and then introduce yourself to them. I mean, I know when I walk my dogs, I see the same people pretty much every day walking. What better way to remind them you're in real estate? You have something in common. I feel like we don't have dog people here. If you're walking your cats,
I walk my dogs, but I have a Great Dane and a Shepherd mix, and they don't get along well with others. So I would not be able to go up to someone else's dogs
okay,
and pet them and offer treats.
yeah, it'd be bad news if your dog bit their dog. So,
Oh yeah, that definitely would not be a good referral.
all right. Events and seminars. So another way to to get some leads. So I know we talked a little earlier about events. Events can be anything. You know, some events that I mentioned that I do the neighborhood cleanup. That's an event. You can do a barbecue following the neighborhood cleanup. Neighborhood barbecue, neighborhood party. We do client events. So on a client event, you know, we do an ice skating event where we invite them every year to ice skating, apple picking. We give everybody a pie for Thanksgiving, and we do a barbecue in the summer. It's just our ways of keeping in front of people. And you don't have to do those things, but just think of things that you do that can keep you in front of people. I mean, organize for the neighborhood that you have Santa coming and you can do a picture with Santa, you know, picture with Santa on the Zoller group. We're set up at the corner of something and something street. Come get your free picture. Bring your kids. Some seminars that you could also do are, you know, listing seminars, buyer seminars. A lot of you guys are newer in the business, so you're gonna have to learn the business before you do seminars. But a lot of times, especially for you, Jeff, you're on a team. You know, have your team, have Luana host a seminar, and you're kind of there helping with it.
Good idea.
You know, there's marketing involved around the seminar itself. You got to get people there. So keep that in mind as well. Okay.
Yeah, I've kind of got my groups of humans that I've been really starting to work with. So yeah, I've got a pretty good gauge on the people who I might be able to work with.
Yeah. We had you know, keep plugging away. If you're doing the work, it'll come. I had a guy on our team that, you know, he had been in the business for like 3 or 4 months and just, you know, couldn't quite get anything under a contract, but he had so many signed buyers. And then a week went by and I think he put like 6 houses under contract in a week. And all of a sudden, yeah, it just like the dams opened up for him. So as long as you're out there doing the work, all of a sudden it's going to start flowing in.
Definitely chipping away at them.
Yeah, good. Keep it up. Well, everybody in here should follow up with Jeff in like a month or two and see how he's doing because it sounds like he's doing all the right things.
Yeah.
All right.
I wanted to kick my butt.
Yeah. And from what I believe, you hit a pretty long golf ball too, don't you, Jeff?
Every once in a while.
Um, so kind of, it looks like we're kind of getting near the end or wrapping up. Ultimately, leads are everywhere. Don't discount anybody. You can just, you know, every conversation has an opportunity. So don't be like in your face about it, but at the same time, gentle reminders, finding ways to just let people know that you're in real estate. And then when the conversation starts, finding the opportunity to ask. You know, depending on what the situation is, asking for a referral or asking for the business. I think, you know, the most important thing out of all this is to build a plan. You know, having a plan of action of what you're going to do, what you're going to focus on is going to be important. You know, build a plan to connect with your sphere. Build a plan to consistently add people to your database. You know, if you're starting out, you know, 100 people. I mean, well, first of all, you should look through your phone, look through your Facebook, you're going to have you should have a list of more than 100 people. Those are where you start. And then once you have your list, you want to connect with those people and add to it, right? So make it a goal, especially starting out, to add 1 or 2 people to that list every single day, whether it's, going to the same coffee shop, going whatever it is. Find your way to add people to it. That's how you're going to get more business. That's how you're going to cast a wider net. Go to open houses, host open houses. You're going to get buyer leads that way. Then potentially seller leads if they're looking to move from a house that they already own. The important thing from an open house is it's just not like people are going to come to the open house, but you're not going to just get them there. It's about the follow-up. It's about providing value. Most of the people that come to the open house are not going to be interested in that house that they're going to the open house with. So if you find that they're not interested, ask them those questions. What are they looking for? Show them some other opportunities. Show up at the open house with other comparables in the neighborhood and be like, hey, listen, did you hear about this house that came on the market that's it's priced $5,000 higher, but it has a pool? Do you want to see that? Do you want me to set it up for you? Keep that in mind. Because people think that, they're at the open house, you're just trying to sell them the house when, yeah, you want them to buy that house, but you also want them to work with you. And the best way is to just provide value in any way that you possibly can. Ooh. Execute a referral strategy. Find an opportunity to, either get referrals from your sphere or other agents and execute on that plan. Consistent follow-up. Choose that geographic area to focus for your door knocking and do some other things that are based around that to also get in front of those same people in the geographic area. The door knocking alone is great, but when you do other things, events and seminars around that neighborhood as well, or do some circle prospecting calling in that neighborhood, emails to the people that live in the neighborhood, if you can start collecting email addresses and phone numbers. Build a plan. Follow the plan. There you go. There's your plan. Put a check mark next to what you're planning to do. I'm going to let you do this afterwards. We don't need to do this right now, but put a date on there of when you plan to do it by, or when you plan to have it in action by. These are your goals. It's going to be your goals to start out in the business and how you're going to, how are you going to get your business, where you're going to get it from. If you don't have goals, if you don't have a roadmap, you're not going to get to where you're going, right? Thoughts, questions, ahas?
There's a really big 3-day realtor convention coming up in Portland in October. I think it's like the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. And they're offering hotel rooms up there, but I don't think I'm going to stay because I can get there in like 45 minutes. But do you think it's a good idea to go to the convention, even though I'm just starting out, to network with other agents in the state?
Well, I mean, what kind of convention is it, first of all?
It's from MAR. MAR is throwing it, the Maine Realtors Association.
Okay.
Association of Realtors, sorry. Said it backwards.
Yeah, so I mean, you're going to meet agents across the state. You're also going to learn. There's going to be a lot of things at that event that are, in addition to meeting agents. You're going to learn a lot of different stuff. They'll have breakout classes, you're going to hear from people what they're doing that is making them successful. And you're going to find that a lot of people focus on different things and they're getting success in so many different ways. It's unbelievable. So yeah, I do think it's beneficial. We just gotta plug into it, make sure that you're involved. Don't just show up to show up.
Yeah, they're doing they have a whole schedule. They've already put out the whole 3-day itinerary, and this each day has got all kinds of classes and stuff going on. So
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna check it out.
Cool. Any other thoughts, questions, ahas? All right. Success system. I don't know. I don't know why this is here. Apparently we're continuing on. It's like a little subcategory of this. Basically this is kind of doubling down on what we had talked about last. It's just building a system around staying in touch with people. Um, having daily goals, meeting those goals. Our team, so you look at this list, we keep track of how many people we talk to on a daily basis, the conversations that we have. I don't keep track of handwritten notes, but I mean, I keep note cards right at my desk. That's so that's one of our branded ones. I have unbranded ones that have just like scenic stuff on it. But if I meet someone out in public and I have their information, if I go to a business after hours through the local chamber of commerce and I meet them, I get their card. I'm gonna shoot them a message afterwards, send them my business card, remind them that I'm in real estate. I probably on a weekly basis will probably send out somewhere close to 10 handwritten notes to clients and people that I meet. I don't track it. I don't have a goal around that. Um, Conversations I think it's important to track. If you look at my daily planner, I have a upper right corner of that. I put little tick marks every time I talk to somebody. And it's my reminder of, well, I've only talked to two. And when I say talk to somebody, it's talk to people for the purpose of selling real estate, not just a conversation. It's asking for business or asking for a referral. So if I go through a day and I'm getting near the end of the day and I've only talked to two people, I know that I'm not doing my job that day. It's kind of a reminder to me of, pick it up. I mean, when you're new in the business, that number should be closer to 10. I mean, Jeff, you took Bold. What was the number? How many people did you have to get in touch with every day?
Oh, God. It was like, I think it was like 20 to 50, potentially even like, then if you get 100, it's like the bold 100.
Yeah.
Um,
The whole premise on that course is to get in touch with 20 people a day. And
yeah.
that's
So I knew it was
conversation.
20 or 50. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. That's a conversation. It's not, hey, I sent this email out. It's I called somebody and talked to them. I text with somebody and they text back. And those texts were asking for business. Um, an email does work if they're replying back and you're having a communication back and forth, but it's a conversation. Facebook, conversation. Keep track of that. I think it's important. I mean, honestly, the reason why on our team we keep track of it is because at the end of the year, we look at what we did throughout the year. I had, X amount of sales. I did 7 sales and I want to get to 14 next year. Well, looks like I talked to on average 4 people a day, which resulted in 7 sales. So if I talk to 8 people a day, it should result in about 14 sales.
Do you have a CRM that you use to track that, or is that just like a manual database you guys use?
So we have a program called CTE.
Yeah, I'm looking into getting that.
Yeah, it tracks all of that in our business. Honestly, our Brivity, which is our CRM, will also track it, but we don't do it in through there.
Got it.
Yeah. So it gives our, I mean, that CTE will give our scoreboard for everything, how what our commissions are throughout the year, number of sales, pipeline, things we have coming up. It keeps track of everything.
Would you recommend that for, like, say I'm just gonna do it on my own, go rogue? Like, would you recommend that program for like a newer agent?
Um, I would probably recommend it for your team or when you're a little bit more plugged into the basis or the
Gotcha.
business. I mean, right now you could do everything without paying for that. You can keep track of it all on a spreadsheet. So just do a spreadsheet, save yourself some money until
Gotcha.
you're a little bit more into the weeds of the business.
Yeah, I'm good at lighting money on fire, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, make goals around your social media engagements, your I don't even know what enrichments are. Yeah. We're gonna skip that because I don't know what it is. Keep track of your appointments. How many appointments does it take you to get a listing or a buyer? I mean, for me, oh, actually, you can't use my numbers. A lot of my clients are past repeat clients. I don't even have to go on an appointment to get a listing for some of them because they're like investors that I work with. But the number that I would go for is for to sign 80% of the appointments. That's a good number to achieve. If you're above 80%, you're doing something right. So if you go on 10 appointments and sign 8 listings, bravo, good job. Now, if you're going on 10 appointments and you sign, and when I say listings, I mean buyers and sellers, by the way. But if you go on 10 appointments and sign 4 people, you might want to work on the skill of that a little bit. Work on your message or delivery. I mean, we have listing presentations and buyer presentations that we give to our clients. I'm sure you'll learn about those somewhere at Ignite if you haven't already. All right. Do not call list. I'm sure you've heard that a number of times. Pay attention to do not call list. Looks like we're wrapping up here, so this is all the wrap up stuff. KW Command. There's courses in there, classrooms. You can also use it as your CRM. There's also a Q or answer section for tech questions. All right. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me. It's important to have a mindset, especially when lead generating. You're calling a bunch of people. Some people aren't going to be happy to hear from you. But if you have a mindset that people are, and you truly believe that, get yourself in a positive mindset, you'll find more people that are okay with hearing from you. Focus on the positive, not the negative. And celebrate the successes. If you reach your goals, celebrate them, even if it's a little thing. If you're trying to get in touch with 5 people in a day or 10 people in a day or 20, if you're doing bold, celebrate. Do something exciting. And it could be a little celebration or a big, I mean, put it out there on Facebook. My goal this month is to sign my first listing. And then let people know. This is exciting. Fireworks. Well, that's it for today. Hopefully I didn't bore everybody.
That was good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything that is outside of what we talked about that you have questions, you can ask me anything. technically we still have 18 minutes left.
What's your thoughts on getting like specialized certifications? Like I'm looking at doing the MRP program and things like that, just to try and spread my, my net or whatever to catch people with.
Yeah. I think learning things is probably the most important part. A lot of those, letters that you're going to get, those designations, buyers, sellers are not going to know what they are.
Yeah.
So don't take them for that purpose. Take them for the sake of learning new things. And I think it's going to be a good thing. You might find that you can get a buyer or seller off of it, but I mean, ultimately, like I said, our clients don't really know or care what those designations really are.
Yep.
They just know or want to know that you care about them and are going to treat them well and take care of them. What else? Dawn, you got anything? Marley?
Just wondering, when you had your client appreciation, like the cookout, and you
Yeah.
did the neighborhood cleanup, do you have your team of agents doing the neighborhood cleanup, or do you actually get past clients cleaning up the neighborhood as well?
Yeah, so my neighborhood cleanup event is just something that I personally do for my own business and not really the team. So I don't actually make the team go out for that. Um, they can if they want to, and I've had a few people go out with me. That's designed for the neighborhood. That's a neighborhood that I'm targeting. Um, so that's not a client event. I do have some past clients that will show up for that. Um, I have a 10 by or 6 by 10 trailer that we filled up entirely with trash this year. So, that we picked up on the side of the road. So we got a lot done. I think I only had like 7 or 8 people that, or 7 or 8 groups of people that ended up helping me out of a neighborhood of 500 homes,
Oh, wow.
which is kind of shocking to me. But I also did some marketing around, so people saw that we were doing it. We had people stop, to thank us on the side of the road. I saw that you were doing this. Sorry, we couldn't help. So the exposure is bigger than just the people that show up.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to the client events that we do, those are team events that we do every year. So the whole team is expected to be there. We invite everybody's clients and past clients. We had
Okay, but the neighborhood cleanup, because you said you did a cookout afterwards, do you literally do a cookout for the people who show up to help you clean up the neighborhood?
Yep, exactly. It's small.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a lot of it's a pretty simple, it's just thank you for the work. Here's a burger and a beer type thing. Appreciate your help.
Okay, now to invite the people, do you put out mailers or do you like door knock the neighborhood to invite the people?
So a little bit of everything. So I door knocked, I put out mailers, and I put posts on social media.
Okay.
And I actually called people directly and emailed. So everything.
So you obviously already knew some of the people in that neighborhood. Is it
Yeah.
a neighborhood that you're farming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I farm through the neighborhood too, you'll get people that will sign up for things or whatever that, you end up adding information. So as time goes along, we start with the neighborhood of 500 houses, and I only know 30 of them and their information fully. And
Yeah.
then over time, at the end of the year, it's, 50 people that I add that have phone numbers now, and 75 people that I now have email addresses for, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep. Okay. So how many years have you been a realtor?
It's been over 20 years.
Well,
Yeah, just a few. It's good business if you plug into it. The most important thing is treat it like a business. It is a business.
yeah, well, I was doing mine part-time. I have more availability now. You know, because being a full-time caregiver, I was able to make phone calls. I was able to send emails and things like that while I was still caring for my sister. But obviously, I have more time on my hands now to be able to get out and actually work the business, meet people, add them to my database.
Good, good. Any other questions? Again, it doesn't have to be about lead gen. All right. If anybody needs anything, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to answer any questions about the business whatsoever. Good
You mind
luck.
throwing your contact in the chat?
No, I want you guys actually connecting with me.
I already found you on Facebook.
All right, so there's my cell phone number. And you got my email now as well. Yeah, if you want scripts, I can send you over some scripts. If you want to know what we're doing to generate business, happy to help you there. Or if you just have questions, you signed your first buyer, what next? I mean, I don't know if you guys are doing the mentorship program or anything like that in the office, or if you're on a team. Jeff has a team member that he gets to throw everything by. So he's got a good source. And Luana, she's been in the business for a long time. So,
She sold me my first house.
oh yeah, I have a number of people that are on my team that's how they got here.
Yep.
You're clients. So cool, guys. Well, it's
Thank
good to meet
you.
everybody. Good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Good luck in the business, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to do a deal together.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right. Enjoy your day.
Thank
Take it
you.
easy.